We give you one side of the coin, and now we're giving you the other. Yes, last night we made a video talking about why the Las Vegas Raiders need to trade up for a quarterback in the 2023 NFL Draft. Because, hey, you got to look at both sides. You got to look at what the Raiders might potentially do and should do. And now we're talking about making a case, rather, as to why they shouldn't trade up for a quarterback. Now, I got to start by saying that, again, I know we're going to get some people in the comment section that are both for and against this whole thing, and I get the for and I also get the against. I mean, we already went for the for. We already showed for about going up and getting a guy, but as far as going and explaining the against for trading up for a quarterback, it makes sense. Like, do I need to remind you of Jamarcus Russell? Do I need to remind you of any other quarterback that the Raiders have drafted in the first round? It just really hasn't worked out for the most part. I said for the most part, but at the end of the day, yes, I understand that, the Raiders are in a spot where, quite honestly, they could use anybody on defense. Like, I understand that your secondary is much improved so far, but yeah, you could use anybody and I'd be okay with it. But if the Raiders get down at 7, and they're in a similar spot like this, now we gonna go ahead and just, again, this isn't a mock draft, but just showing you the option here and showing you as to why the Raiders would not necessarily go and get the best quarterback that they can, or the quarterback they like. You see Bryce Young goes number 1. Apparently he is now the number 1 choice. You also see CJ Stroud going to the Texans, who, I mean, this may or may not happen. The Texans earlier today showing that they're going to listen to offers, which, I mean, why wouldn't you? Of course you're going to listen to offers. But, after that, the Colts go Will Levis, and Anthony Richardson somehow is still there. I do think, again, there's going to be a trade up to 3 at some point. Like, the Cardinals are going to be able to get a haul for it. There's going to be a quarterback needy team trading up, no doubt. So I don't believe this is accurate. I do not believe Anthony Richardson is going to be there. However, the Raiders might be in a great spot, though, because if the Texans do indeed trade out of 2 here and trade down and they want to go and stick with, Case Keenum this year, fine. The Raiders are going to be a spot where you can get the best defensive player pretty much that you choose from. Now, yes, Jalen Carter most likely and Will Anderson Jr. most likely are going to be gone. I understand that. But you're going to have your 1C pick with the 7th overall pick. Like, Tyree Wilson is going to be there. He would look really good next to Max Crosby. And there's also some other guys like Peter Skoronski. I think he could be a great guard if you wanted to go on the route of offensive lineman, even though we've done that and we've gotten hate for it. I guess what? I don't care. Also, you got Christian Gonzalez is there. I mean, Devin Witherspoon could be there, especially if the Lions go and feel like they want to go with Quentin Johnson instead. So you could really have the best defensive player available. And so you might ask yourself, well, Colton, why would the Raiders want to go with the best defensive player available? Listen, this Raiders defense has been bad, very bad for a long time now. It feels like decades at this point. And quite honestly, I feel that, yes, Jimmy G, and when we were talking about it in the offseason, Jimmy G wasn't the guy we were really pounding on the table for, but we've had worse. We've had a lot worse. And I think that the Raiders are in a spot where getting your defense up to par and getting Patrick Graham in a spot where he gets his dudes and this defense is flying around and making plays would make life so much easier, no matter who's at quarterback, whether it's Jimmy G or whoever it's going to be, Max Williams next year, whatever. At the end of the day, when your defense is at a point where it's only allowing 1, maybe 2 scores a game, makes it pretty easy for your offense to win most of those games. And we saw it with Jimmy G in his time with the 49ers. And I think you can get your defense to a point where, you don't let up a lot of points if you're the Raiders and you still find a way to make plays and make it a lot easier on your offense. And to me, it does make a lot of sense. So as for why the Raiders shouldn't trade up for a quarterback, you need defensive help on pretty much every single level of that defense. I don't care. Nobody is safe as far as I'm concerned. And I think the Raiders also do have a major pressing need to finally get this defense in a place where it is respectable and going to shut people down. But let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support you guys have given us. You guys are all truthfully awesome. We love every single one of you. Down in the description below, you'll find all of our social media platforms. So give us a like and a follow there. Also remember to give us a listen and sub on iTunes. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put it in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let us know what you guys think about the case that we make as to why the Las Vegas Raiders shouldn't trade up for a quarterback.